I sent $6,400 to help with my best friend's dad's retirement cruise, then got a message, +1 not approved. Just contribute. His stepmom added, you can't buy real loyalty, so you fund it. I smiled. Good point. I quietly removed my payments for everyone's business rent, loans, and CAR leases. By morning, my phone exploded, and they did this. I stared at the group chat like it had just slapped me across the face. Derek, we figured you'd be busy, so don't worry about the cruise. Just contribute like usual. Smiley face. That little smiley face felt like a middle finger. My name is Derek. I'm 37 years old and live in Wilmington, North Carolina. For the last 7 years, I've quietly supported my best friend's family, Trevor's dad's mortgage, his sister Nina's boutique lease, the occasional emergency dental bill. I never asked for praise. I just did it because it felt right, because I believed I was part of something. Until now. The cruise was for Trevor's dad, Mr. Rayner, officially retiring after 38 years of plumbing work. They had a group chat for planning, full of vacation memes, t-shirt polls, ship deck layouts. I've been watching it roll along for weeks. I assumed I'd be invited eventually. I mean, hell, I paid the deposit for the entire trip 2 months ago, but now they'd officially uninvited me. Not even Trevor had messaged me privately. Just that one line from Nina's number, followed by a few thumbs ups from others in the group. And then came the second blow, like a punch you don't see until it's already cracked your ribs. From Mr. Rayner's wife, Donna. You try to buy loyalty since no one would choose you for real. No emojis this time. Just sharp and clean like a knife. I sat there for a long moment, staring at that sentence, waiting for anger, for sadness, for anything. But all I felt was cold. Not the kind of cold that makes you shiver. The kind that quiets every noise in your body. The kind that says, this is it. No more. So I stood up, walked to my laptop, and opened every account I had access to. The first thing I did was stop the auto payment for Mr. Rayner's house. Then I logged into the account I used to manage Nina's boutique rental and canceled the standing check. I scrolled to Trevor's car lease. Yes, even that. I had been covering it for a year while he got back on his feet. I canceled that too. Every name, every connection, one by one. Delete, block, unlink. I didn't send a warning. I didn't fire off a clever comeback or a you'll regret this text. I wasn't interested in that. Let them feel it without knowing why. By the time I closed the last browser tab, I felt something shift inside me, like I'd been carrying 100 pounds for years and suddenly remembered I could let go. They thought I'd be heartbroken. They were wrong. I wasn't breaking. I was starting, and they'd know it soon enough. The next morning, I woke up to chaos. 23 missed calls, 17 texts, 4 voicemails, all from the same people who had no use for me the day before. The first voicemail was from Trevor. Bro, I don't know what's going on, but my car got declined at the leasing office this morning, and now they're saying I'm in breach. Can you just call me back, please? The second was from Nina. Hey, Derek, I need to know if something's wrong with the business account. I just got a late rent notice, and I thought everything was handled. You always handle it. What's going on? The third one was Donna. Her voice didn't sound smug anymore. Derek, you don't have to do this. If this is about the message, I didn't mean it like that. You're taking things out of context. Please just call me. I sipped my coffee and watched the messages pile up, my phone vibrating like it was possessed. I didn't answer a single one. I just scrolled, slowly, reading every panicked sentence like it was the front page of a newspaper I'd waited years to see. They weren't angry. Not yet. They were scared. Around 9:30, the pounding started on my front door. I didn't even need to check the peephole. I already knew it was Mr. Rayner. The heavy fists, the impatient rhythm. He always knocked like the world owed him an answer. Derek, come on, son. Open the damn door. I walked over but didn't unlock it. I just stood behind the wood and listened. You can't just leave people hanging like this. My mortgage bounced. I got a call from the damn bank. What the hell is going on? He paused, maybe waiting for footsteps or movement. There was none. I thought we were family, he said, softer now. I thought you cared about us. That one stung. Not because it was true, but because I did care once. Deeply. Enough to put their needs ahead of mine for 7 straight years. But family doesn't exclude you from the table after you've paid for the feast. Family doesn't humiliate you in front of strangers and then expect your money to show up anyway. He knocked once more. Not loud. Almost like a tap. Then he left. I didn't watch him walk away. I just sat on my couch, phone in one hand, coffee in the other. It was the first time in years I had peace and silence in my own home, without waiting for someone to ask me for something. I didn't feel cruel. I didn't feel vengeful. I felt steady. I chose them every time, and they chose me only when it was convenient. This time, I chose myself. And for once, I wasn't going back. I didn't sleep that night, not because I felt guilty, but because my brain wouldn't shut up. Memories kept dragging themselves out of storage, playing back like old home videos I never asked to see. The first one was simple. Me, 23 years old, clutching my first real paycheck, standing in the lobby of Cape Fear Medical Center. Mr. Rayner had just had heart surgery, and the insurance didn't cover all of it. Trevor called me panicked. They're gonna send him to collections. My mom's losing it, man. So I wrote a check. Every dollar I had, minus rent. I told myself it was temporary, just until they figured things out. That was 14 years ago. After that, It became habit. A little here, a little there. Nina needed help opening her boutique. It's just a few thousand to get off the ground, she'd said. You'll be like a silent investor. I'll pay you back the second we turn a profit. They never turned a profit. Then came the vacation fund. Mr. Rayner and Donna wanted to celebrate their anniversary in Jamaica. They couldn't swing the airfare after some plumbing contracts fell through. I paid for the trip as a surprise gift. Trevor said I was too generous, but he didn't offer to split it. I started using a separate spreadsheet just to track the outflows: mortgage support, car repairs, back taxes, orthodontist visits for Nina's kid. I color-coded it all. It wasn't even the money that wore me down. It was the way they acted, like it was expected. Like my help was just part of the weather, steady, invisible, not worth mentioning. They never asked if I was doing okay. They never once said, "Hey, Derek, how's your life?" The times I couldn't make it to family events, I'd hear about it later. "Derek's too busy playing big shot to show up," Donna once said at a birthday party I paid for but missed because of work. Or when I skipped Trevor's 4th of July barbecue last year because I had the flu. "He only shows up when there's a photo op," Nina joked. And yet they cashed the check I sent for the catering, smiled with full mouths and red Solo cups, and posted photos captioned "family" over everything. But I wasn't in any of them. Even when Trevor got his new SUV, the one I co-signed on, he told his coworkers he bought it off a great deal. Private seller. That seller was me. I remember walking into Nina's store one afternoon just to say hi. She barely looked up from her laptop. "You should text first," she said. "I'm swamped." I had just paid that month's rent on our building. And then there was the worst one. The day they threw a birthday dinner for Mr. Rayner at the Reef, this expensive seafood place downtown. I couldn't make it. Work emergency. But I covered the bill. It was over $800. The next day, I saw Donna's post on Facebook. "Grateful for our tight-knit circle. Real ones only. You know who you are." The photo had everyone in it, laughing, toasting. I wasn't there. I wasn't ever really there. They didn't want me around. They just wanted what I gave. That realization hit like a gut punch. But it also gave me something I hadn't felt in years. Clarity. I shut my laptop, deleted the spreadsheet, and leaned back in my chair. They thought love was a debit card. Thought my silence meant comfort. That my giving meant they were entitled. Not anymore. Now I was taking it all back, piece by piece. Not the money. That was gone. But the access? That part was mine. And it was closed for business. It happened on a Tuesday, right around 6:15 p.m., just as I was finishing my third set on the bench press. I saw Trevor first, storming across the gym floor like a man on a mission. He didn't even change into workout clothes. Still wearing jeans and a wrinkled polo, his face flushed and tight with frustration. Behind him trailed Nina, her arms crossed, jaw clenched, and Donna, her heels clicking too loudly for a place like this. My stomach didn't drop. My pulse didn't quicken. I just calmly racked the bar and sat up, wiping sweat off my face. "Here we go, Derek," Trevor barked, loud enough to turn heads. "You got a damn minute?" I didn't respond. I reached for my water bottle, took a sip, and stood. "You've been dodging us," he said, voice rising. Real mature, man. Real grown-up. People were starting to notice now, slowing treadmills, earbuds coming out. The front desk girl peeked around the smoothie bar. "You have any idea what you've done?" Donna jumped in, her voice sharp and shrill. "My husband is panicking. Nina's shop is sinking, and Trevor's car got repossessed this morning," Trevor snapped, pointing a finger in my face. "Because you pulled your payments without warning. Who does that?" I met his eyes. "Someone who's tired of being used." That stopped them for half a second. Then Nina stepped forward, her voice shaking. "You're unbelievable. You act like we forced you. You offered to help. Now you're playing the victim." "Victim?" I laughed under my breath. "You locked me out of the cruise you planned with my money. Then your stepmom called me pathetic for trying to buy loyalty." Donna's eyes narrowed. "That message wasn't meant for you." "Oh, so the insult only counts if I read it?" More people were watching now. A guy near the free weights pulled out his phone and started filming. No one tried to stop it. "You were never family," Nina hissed. "You were just convenient." I finished for her. "Yeah, I know. You actually said that, remember?" She froze. And that's when I pulled out my phone. "Let's go ahead and clear this up," I said, unlocking the voice memo app. "Here's Nina last Thanksgiving, in the parking lot." I hit play. Her voice came through clearly. "We don't invite Derek to real stuff. He's just the bank. It's not like he expects a seat at the table." The gym went quiet. A couple people audibly gasped. I let it play a little longer, then stopped it. "Want another one?" I've got Donna saying I'm pathetic for trying to insert myself. Or Trevor, last month, joking that I'm too boring to hang out with, but good for rent money. "You recorded us?" Nina said, her face pale. "You lied to me for years," I said. "Forgive me for not trusting the edited version of the story." Trevor stepped forward again, trying to puff himself up. "This is slander." I tilted my head. "No, it's proof." He reached like he was going to grab my phone. I stepped back, held it up toward the guy still recording. "Smile for the camera, Trevor. This is what real accountability looks like." That was it. Trevor froze, fist clenched. Donna looked like she wanted to disappear. Nina turned her face, humiliated. I picked up my towel, slung it over my shoulder, and walked toward the locker room without another word. As I passed the front desk, the girl behind it gave me a small, quiet nod. A few others did too. For once, I wasn't invisible. I was free. 2 days after the gym, I sat across from a lawyer named Jasmine Fields in a quiet office just outside downtown. Her hair was pulled back in a tight bun, glasses low on her nose as she flipped through the folder I dropped on her desk. Bank records, transfer receipts, screenshots, signed thank you messages, voicemails, the whole timeline. I didn't say much, just watched her eyebrows rise a little higher with each page. When she finally looked up, her face was a mix of surprise and something close to respect. "You weren't kidding," she said. "This is comprehensive." I nodded. "It's all real. Every payment, every transaction. 7 years of documented help." She tapped a section. "This one here, Trevor's lease. He never made a single payment himself?" "Nope. I covered every month until I canceled last week." "And this," she said, flipping further, "Mina's boutique lease. That's in your name." "Yeah." She couldn't qualify on her own. I signed as guarantor and paid directly. She leaned back in her chair. "You've basically been a silent lender for their entire family." "Exactly. And now I want it back." Her lips pressed together, considering. "You're not going to get every dime. Not in full. But based on this," she tapped the folder again, "you've got a solid civil claim. Misuse of funds, verbal agreements, promissory estoppel, maybe even fraud, depending on what they put in writing." "I'm not looking for miracles," I said. "Just the principle." She glanced at her computer, then back at me. "How much are you asking for?" $48,000. She didn't blink. "That's everything I can prove with receipts," I clarified. "Not even counting the stuff I let slide." "It's fair." Jasmine gave a small nod and started typing. "We'll start with a demand letter. I'll break down each item, include all supporting documents, and give them 30 days to respond. If they ignore it, we escalate." I watched the words appear on her screen, and for the first time in weeks, I let myself exhale. Really exhale. This wasn't about revenge. It was about putting a period at the end of a sentence that had gone on too long. 3 hours later, the letter was sent. Official stationery, legal phrasing, every cent accounted for. I asked Jasmine to CC me. Later that night, I forwarded it directly to Donna, Nina, and Trevor. No subject line, no message body, just the letter. Within minutes, my phone lit up. "Donna, we need to talk. Please. This is unnecessary." "Trevor, you've lost it, man." "A lawsuit? After everything?" "Nina, I'm shaking right now. What is wrong with you?" I didn't respond, not to a single one. But when my phone rang and I saw Donna's name, I picked up. Her voice was soft, like she was already crying. "Derek, please, can we fix this another way?" I looked out my window, watching the sun fade over the rooftops. "You have 30 days, I said flatly. "Good night, Donna." Then I hung up, and for the first time, I felt the scales tip. They weren't in control anymore. I was. The next few weeks felt like watching a slow-motion collapse. I didn't hear from them directly after the call with Donna, but the fallout spilled across every corner of my screen. Trevor's Instagram stories went quiet. His profile picture changed from imposing in front of his SUV to a black and white selfie with no caption. Subtle, but clear. Nina started posting vague quotes on her boutique's page. "Some people only support you when you're useful. You can give your all and still be painted the villain." Every one of those posts was a whisper with my name on it. Then came the updates from mutuals. I didn't ask for them. People just sent them, unprompted. "Hey man, I think Trevor sold his Omega watch collection. Saw his listing on Facebook Marketplace. Did you know Nina's store is holding a liquidation event? Looks like she's trying to keep the lights on." Donna, of course, went the community route. Someone forwarded me screenshots of a rant she posted in the local neighborhood group. "Beware of people who pretend to be family but stab you in the back with legal letters. Some people are born bitter." Commenters ate it up until someone named Carol H. replied, "Didn't your son say he was covering all your expenses? Now he's stabbing you for stopping." That thread got locked. Still, I didn't respond. Not once. I'd already done my part. The demand letter had gone out. The clock was ticking. And every day that passed, the silence from me said more than any argument could. Then, about 3 weeks in, I got a call from an unknown number. I let it go to voicemail. The message was short, professional. "Hi, this is Miriam Blake. I'm a certified mediator representing the Rayner family. They're interested in resolving this matter through alternative dispute resolution. Please give me a call at your earliest convenience." I didn't rush. I waited 2 full days, then replied with a single email. "I'm available next Monday at 2:30 p.m. Please confirm." She confirmed within the hour. The following Monday, I walked into a neutral office space that smelled like printer toner and burnt coffee. Donna was already seated at the table, in a beige blazer 2 sizes too big. Trevor came in 5 minutes late, looking like he hadn't slept in days. Nina arrived last, sunglasses on indoors, trying to look detached. No one said hello. The mediator began with her script. Polite, balanced, careful to not place blame. Then she turned it over to me. I laid out everything calm, precise. The timeline, the payments, the expectations they'd never bother Dawn. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't gloat. I just laid it bare. Trevor stared at the table. Donna dabbed her eyes with a tissue. Nina said nothing at all. The weight of the silence? It was beautiful. They had played me for years. And now? Now they were just trying to survive without me. And I was finally watching them drown from the shore. The conference room was too quiet. One wall was lined with fake plants, the kind that tried to make the place feel calm and neutral. But nothing about that room felt calm. Not with Trevor cracking his knuckles every 5 seconds. Nina breathing like she was about to hyperventilate, and Donna twisting a balled-up tissue in her hand so tight it looked like it might disintegrate. The mediator, Miriam, sat between us at the head of the table, calm and composed. She reminded me of a school principal, the kind who pretends not to take sides even when they clearly have. "Mr. Rayner," she said, addressing Trevor's dad who had dialed in remotely, his grainy face staring at us from a laptop screen at the center of the table. "We're here to resolve Mr. Bryant's claim for reimbursement in the amount of $48,000. Do you acknowledge receipt of that letter?" He grunted. "Yeah. And do you agree to settle this matter in good faith today?" Silence. Then Donna leaned into the mic. We want to put this behind us. That's all." Miriam nodded and turned to me. "Mr. Bryant, we understand the amount in dispute and have reviewed your supporting documents. The Rayner family would like to begin the negotiation by offering a settlement of $12,000. I almost laughed. Almost. But I didn't. Instead, I leaned forward, calm, voice low and clear. "No." Trevor's head snapped up. "It's something, man. It's more than nothing." "Not even close," I replied. "That amount doesn't cover half of what I paid just for your car and Nina's boutique rent." Nina slammed her hands on the table. "This is insane. You acted like you wanted to help. You never said this was a loan." "I never said it was a blank check either." I shot back. "And just because I didn't ask for payback before doesn't mean I never could." Miriam held up her hand. "Let's keep this civil, please." I nodded and opened my folder, sliding it across the table. Itemized. Receipts. Timestamps. Every dime I sent for 7 years. I didn't bring feelings. I brought facts. Donna's voice trembled. "We didn't mean to take advantage of you. You didn't think you were," I said, sharper now. "That's the difference." Mr. Rayner's voice crackled from the speaker. "This is tearing us apart. You're not acting like family." I turned toward the laptop. "Neither did you when your wife told me no one would ever choose me for real." Donna flinched. Trevor shook his head. "You were like a brother, man." "No," I said, locking eyes with him. "I was your lifeline. But instead of gratitude, I got exclusion, lies, mockery." Nina's voice cracked. "I was scared. Okay? I didn't think you'd actually cut us off." "That's not fear," I said. "That's entitlement." She broke then, covered her face with both hands and started crying. I didn't gloat. I just watched it happen like a storm finally breaking over a long, dry field. Miriam cleared her throat. "Would you consider a structured repayment agreement?" "I would," I said, "but no tricks, no delays." Everyone at the table nodded. "I want it in writing," I added, "with clear dates and consequences if they default." "Understood." By the end of the meeting, we signed a legally binding plan, $48,000 to be repaid in full over 24 months. The room was drained when it ended. No small talk, no hugs, no one pretending we'd all get dinner afterward. I shook Miriam's hand and stood. Just before I walked out, Donna reached out and touched my arm. "We really didn't mean to hurt you." I looked at her hand, then at her face. "You did anyway," I said quietly. "Now you make it right." And then I left, and didn't look back. The first repayment hit my account on the 1st of the month. Exactly 2 weeks after mediation, like clockwork. $4,200, labeled partial payment number 1. "Thank you." I stared at the notification for a moment, phone glowing in my palm. The name of the account still familiar. They had actually followed through. I didn't expect them to. I didn't smile. I didn't reply. I didn't even open the banking app. I just deleted the notification and slid my phone face down on the table. It wasn't about the money anymore. That part had already been spent on their dreams, their debts, their excuses. This was something else. This was mine. The next few weeks were quiet. For once, my phone didn't ring with panicked emergencies. There were no cryptic messages, no emotional voice notes, no thinly veiled demands hiding behind, just checking in. But they still tried to reach me, just in smaller, sadder ways. Trevor's second payment included a note. "I wish it didn't end like this." Nina's third one had a line. "Hope you're okay. I miss having you around." Donna's payment came in with just a single word in the memo. "Sorry." I didn't answer any of them. I wasn't ignoring them to be cold. I just didn't owe them access anymore. I took a deep breath and closed the old bank account tied to those payments. Transferred the money to a new one under my business. Quiet, clean, no more reminders. And just like that, their names were out of my phone, out of my inbox, out of my life. I had spent so many years being the foundation for other people's lives that I forgot I had one of my own. So I started building it. I signed up for a coding class, something I always wanted to do but never had the time for. Monday and Wednesday nights, I sat in the back of a little co-working space off 5th Street, learning Python and SQL with people half my age. It felt weird at first, being a beginner again, but it also felt good. I wasn't doing it for anyone else, just me. I started calling old friends, the ones I lost touch with because I was always too busy bailing someone out. We got drinks. We laughed about nothing, and they didn't ask me for anything. I started walking more. No headphones, no calls. Just me and the sidewalks and the quiet. I bought myself a decent pair of running shoes. Finally replaced the toaster I'd been tolerating for 5 years. Took a weekend trip to Asheville and stayed in a cabin with no cell signal. It was the first time I'd slept through the night in months. Every now and then, I'd catch myself waiting for the other shoe to drop, for someone to knock on my door, for a call to pull me back into that spiral of "can you help?" But it never came, because I had closed the door. And this time, I locked it. I wasn't their lifeline anymore. I was finally my own.